Let's get it going. What's up, Rylan? How you doing, man? Oh, all right. Oh, live stream stuff. So yeah, good stuff going on. Got some nice channel updates and life updates and a whole bunch of stuff going on right now. So, don't know to get started right now or wait. But essentially, lots of stuff happening. Lost my job beginning of the month or beginning of January. Had COVID. Fell into an extreme depression, like really, really bad depression, and didn't care about anything. I was feeling like crap a lot. Had no motivation for like anything. My depression hit really hard. I do have really strong bouts of depression, which I absolutely hate, but it's just life. Just it comes with the territory, I guess. So I didn't want to stream. Didn't want to do anything really. So I just kind of was reflecting on life in general and to see what I wanted to do. Because what I was doing before is not what I wanted to do. It was like a filler job that kind of turned semi-permanent. I didn't want it to be permanent. I was working towards other things and other avenues of life and things I wanted to do, but I got comfortable. I'll be the first person to say it. I got really, 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 really comfortable with where I was at. So, I mean, I love everybody there, good people, but it was definitely time for me to move on, and I was kind of shoved into moving on, which I do appreciate. So, I had been doing. I'm getting like a ton of text right now. As soon as I go live, like I don't get any text throughout the day, all of a sudden I push the live button, text all over the place. Anyways, I've been teaching myself how to code for the past year. Started with Python. I mean, I looked up like easy coding languages because I wanted to get a job in tech, but I didn't want to. I don't know. I like hardware. I like dealing with hardware. I like dealing with servers. I love Linux. I love the whole atmosphere, networking and stuff like that. And I always thought that programming, you had to be extremely smart to be a programmer. You need to be good at math, which I am good at math. But like algorithms and other stuff, and just looking into it, and this kind of happened when COVID really hit and everybody went into lockdown. Yeah, I never went into lockdown just because the nature of my work. But I decided to learn how to code. Just at first, it was for fun, and then I really liked it. Honestly, to be honest, I was working on trying to be a ethical hacker for security for a pen tester, and I was taking a course, and the guy was like, "You need to learn how to program Python." And I was like, "Great, programming." I'm not smart for programming. I'm older. Because tech is kind of saw it as a young person's game. I should be recording this, maybe not right now. So I was just So I was doing the course programming Python, and I was like, great. So he had like a very small snippet of doing programming on his channel of what to do, and so I started doing it, and I was like, honestly, this really isn't that hard. Like, I've done some bash scripting a little bit. I've done some, terminal stuff, switching around terminals in Linux and servers and stuff like that. And it's like, this really isn't that hard as doing commands in a command line. You just put it into a program to make it run. And so I really liked Python and started learning Python. I went through one book. Very bottom of my book. I started going through this, which is Automate the Boring Stuff with Python. Awesome book to learn how to do Python. The only problem I have with it is it's more of a tutorial based. I mean, you're building projects, but you're not learning the deep fundamentals of let's get some music going too. Sorry, I'm just all over the place. you don't have the deep fundamentals of programming, of conditional statements and stuff like that, which all programming is based off of. I mean, you learn one language and you learn the fundamentals of programming, and you can switch to another language quite easily. I mean, you have to learn syntax, and some are harder. Don't get me wrong. Like, you have low-level programming languages like C, C++, C++, and high level like Python, which is interpreted, which is a lot easier. It's written more like it's spoken word. Anyways, and I just started falling in love with programming and went and started doing like backend stuff for web development. So I started with Django for backend, and I saw that you needed to learn HTML and CSS, which I had done prior, like many years ago, like 15 years ago. I started doing a little bit of HTML and CSS stuff. Sorry. And life got in the way. I got too busy with other stuff. But I saw that you needed HTML and CSS. And you needed JavaScript. So I was like, well, time to learn JavaScript. And I've heard JavaScript was harder. It's like, great, learn JavaScript. So I started getting into JavaScript, and some of the core concepts, like I said earlier, that I learned through Python, I learned in JavaScript as well, that were transferable, of like if statements, conditionals, and just basic coding stuff. So started learning JavaScript, found out you could build complete websites with JavaScript. It's not just a front end language. You can use Node.js and run not JavaScript off a terminal and stuff like that, which was really, really cool. So I was like, well, I can learn JavaScript. Then started learning about cryptocurrency and blockchain and stuff like that. So essentially what I'm trying to get to is I am changing my channel around. I'm still going to be gaming, but it's going to be focused on programming, developing with live streaming games and stuff like that afterwards. I'm going to be streaming my learning process of coding and blockchain and stuff like that. I would love, one of my things that when I started getting into web development was I wanted to write smart contracts, which if you don't know what smart contracts are, look them up. But essentially what they are programs run on the blockchain on Ethereum. So like, let's say if you go to Coinbase, or if you go to one good, here, let's swap to, excuse my messy desktop. So if you come here and go to Uniswap, Uniswap's website right here, and you go to launch app, this is actually running on Ethereum right now. So Ethereum is a blockchain like Bitcoin, and it is very, very it's cool because you can do stuff like you can run programs off of it, and this is the basis of Web 3.0 and the metaverse. The metaverse. And this just so this it's a front end program. You should see my post a photo in the Discord so I can check it out. So essentially the front end is all built on JavaScript and React, and then the back end runs off of Ethereum blockchain, which is really cool. It's decentralized. There's a lot of cool stuff to it. So I would love to get into smart contracts, that whole thing. I think it's really cool to be running stuff off of blockchain. I mean, blockchain, when at first it was just transactions, and then now it's gone into so much more. You do so much more stuff with blockchain. Voting, you can't, so much stuff. It's very hard and almost dang near impossible to mess with stuff in the blockchain. So like for voting it's awesome for voting, because if you sign your digital wallet right here and you vote, it can't be tampered with. And then like notary stuff, you can do notary stuff. You can do medical records because and it can be stored on this decentralized where not one person can look at the exact information, but you can see it's there. So, yeah. So I have been in Code Academy for over a year learning full stack web development. I started very basic of JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Then right around September, let me see. Yeah, September, family stuff happened, and I kind of fell off. And I started streaming because I got the itch to stream and thought I could make it as a big streamer, but I stopped my coding, which I never should have done. That was very, very, that wasn't smart of me. So yeah, like right around here, my last commit to GitHub was September 11th, and then I went all the way through here because this is where I was streaming and I wasn't coding and I was just concentrating on gaming. And then I started January 26th. I started coding back in the middle of January, and then I started committing to my GitHub. And I haven't committed lately because I've been working and I haven't been doing any projects, but I've been doing I've been learning. So I started back here, which is like the very fundamentals. Fundamentals of HTML, of CSS, JavaScript, fundamentals, syntax, using GitHub, my own portfolio. So this right here is actually something I coded in vanilla JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. This is my kind of my personal project of just stuff I have done coding wise on my personal, and then just it's a static website, very basic HTML, not basic, but HTML and CSS, very basic vanilla JavaScript, no frameworks. You can switch to dark mode, so it's basic stuff. I got links down here, just other minor stuff. And so now I am jumping into, I'll have to wait till my science grades go up from a MP. What's an MP? And then so now I'm working in and learning React, which React is really cool because this is actually running off my computer right now. So I'll pull up VS Code. Very basic stuff in right here. So here's the main app right here, just doing some very basic React, but essentially this is, not passing. Oh yeah, you gotta get those grades up, dude. Grades are very, 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 you need them. So yeah, so now you got my React right here. This pushing down here, sorry. Oh, that's my, close that out. And in the background, I am mining Ethereum as well. So my gaming computer, when I'm coding and not doing anything, but not if I'm gaming, I'm not mining Ethereum. I'm also mining Ethereum on my streaming computer, and I have an Ethereum miner in my basement, which has been shit lately. It's been absolutely shit. I have not been making that much money mining. We hit like a difficulty spike, and it's just it's completely shot out. So yeah, like I said, minor gaming. This game though, I absolutely love this game. I fell in love with this game. It's called Bitburner. It's free on Steam. And you can code and hack and do a whole bunch of stuff. It's cyberpunkish themed. So like here you have, like, here's just a very basic script. This is a script to find hosts and stuff. It has bash commands, so you can do bash commands. You can nano stuff. You can move into different servers. And I just kind of beat the game. It's got different stages. This game has in depth. Like, I couldn't believe how much in depth it is. And I've done it on my channel before and shown it off on my channel before. So, yeah. So right now I'm trying to buy these augments. to get more hacking experience, to get more money involved. Because the goal right now is to get invited to a faction, but I need to hit a couple. So I need to have 30 augmentations. I need to have 100 billion, at least one time hit 100 billion. And my hacking skill needs to be 2,500. I get invited to this faction, and then I earn faction rep like I'm doing here for that faction, and I can buy what's called a red pill, and I can wipe out the nodes. So you have different nodes that you can go into and do different things. It's really cool. I mean, you can make it as simple or as complex as you want it. You can travel to different cities. You can commit crime. You can buy... What's up, Gravity? How's it going? You can buy server, do other different stuff in this game. It's really cool. So yeah. So now just working a little bit more coding. If you didn't hear what I said, Gravity, I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on coding because I lost my job at the beginning of January. Then I got sick and had COVID. I know I posted it in the Discord, and I kind of fell into a big depression. So before I started streaming a lot back in September, I was coding a lot. I want to learn how to be a developer. Web development, do 3.0 stuff, do blockchain stuff, write smart contracts, stuff like that. So that's what I'm focusing on. My goals video that I made at the beginning of the year is completely gone now. I'm still going to be doing gaming, but for the time being, I'm going to be doing a lot more coding. I'm going to be posting coding on my channel. I have two reasons for this. I think it's really cool to show people that you can code no matter what, how old you are, where you're at in life. I mean, if you have a small computer, big computer, multifaceted computers, whatever, you can code. I code off my laptop when I go over to my sister's house. And that thing has got 8 gigs of RAM, and I still code with that on a small 13-inch screen. And I'm feeling a lot better. Yeah, just support the channel. I don't know if I'm going to be losing, if I'll lose, followers, whatever, or subscribers, but I was feeling a little burnt out doing a lot of FPS gaming. I don't have a lot of people I play with, so it's a lot of crap I was dealing with. And I love code. I love coding. I love computers. I love technology. I love new technology. I love all different sorts of stuff. Another thing. I was able to pick up an Oculus 2. It sounds weird. I lost my job and then I picked up an Oculus 2, but the only reason why I was able to pick up an Oculus 2 was because I had money in a store credit in Best Buy and I needed to use it. And I was able to pick up an Oculus 2. So VR streams. VR is very, very cool. I always thought it was going to be I always thought VR was going to be like a niche thing, but it's not. There are some really cool stuff. I mean, you have VR chat, you have all that stuff, but there's so much more. Thanks, Rye. I appreciate it, buddy. But VR streams, hopefully, there's so much cool stuff in VR, guys. So much cool stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna get into learning some React today. And oh yeah, so the other facet I wanted to do for doing coding and streaming coding is potential employers. I can point them to my YouTube channel so they can see how I'm learning, what I'm doing, and I can show them projects that I've done on a video scale. Not just here's the project, and you can paste and copy paste everything into it and say you did it, but there's no really way saying you did it. A lot of developing is Googling, and you can see how other people have done it, and you can kind of go that same way. What will happen? I will still be playing Apex at times, and I will still be doing aim training, but it's not going to be the main focus for right now. So maybe doing aim training. I haven't really thought too far about it. Maybe on the weekends doing some aim training and weekend streams doing Apex, maybe a couple times during the week and stuff like that. Yeah. But for right now, I this is something I wanted to do, was to get a job in programming and development, and I have the time to do it, so might as well just do it while I'm looking for a job. And the streams are going to be kind of hit and miss too. I'm going to try to do it whenever I am learning, but just stuff happening with life. I might be moving, possibly moving. I'm not sure. There's just, everything's up in the air right now. Honestly, everything is so far up in the air right now. So yeah, I hope everybody sticks around and can support. If people don't want to, then that's just their choice. And I respect people's choices. So, and that's it. Okay. I'm going to turn down this music a little bit. So let's get into learning some React. Yeah, you have to do what you feel is right. I do still want to do some FPS gaming. I mean, there's other gaming stuff I like too. Like, I love ARPGs. Lost Ark just came out. I've been playing a little bit of Lost Ark. It's been a lot of fun. You know, there's just so much stuff out there. So we'll see what happens, and we'll just go with it. You know, who knows? Who knows? You know, maybe I get hired for a job doing coding, and I don't need to stream coding anymore. I can just go back to streaming games. So it's all up in the air right now. We're gonna see what works, see what hits, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Just leave it as that. All right. So components interact. So this is I learned about component. I didn't do my menu. Let's see the syllabus of full stack engineering. So yeah, this is everything I've gone through so far. It is a lot. I've done through all this, and I'm only 38% of the way through this whole learning. So I learned about JSX and the virtual DOM. JSX is just HTML written in JavaScript. And I learned about React components. So now we're getting into actual React. Let me get a drink. Okay. Actually, we want to go back one. Here we go. A React application can contain dozens or even hundreds of components. Each component might be small and relative, unremarkable on its own. When combined, however, they can form enormous, fantastic, complex ecosystem of information. In other words, React apps are made out of components, but then makes React special isn't components themselves. What makes React special is the ways the components interact. This unit is introduction to computer interacting, which is really cool. Because you have components, and then you combine components to make stuff on website. Component in a render function. So here's the render function method that returns HTML JSX element. Okay, this is JSX right here because it's written in JavaScript and HTML. You've seen render methods return divs, Ps, and H1s, just like the above example. Render methods can also return other kind of JSX component instances. Okay. In the above example, crazy. Okay, crazy. So here's a class of crazy that is extended from the React component class and returns an instance of OMG. So you pretty much, it's just like a callback function, essentially. So you render out, so you return this into this, and then you render you call this and make this, and then you render this, which then turns this. Okay. Apply a component to a render function. This is new territory. You've never seen a component rendered by another component before. You have seen a component rendered before, though, but it's not another component. Instead, a component rendered by dom.render. When a component renders another component, what happens is very similar to what happens when React renders a component. Yeah, okay. So you can see two files in the code editor, page and nav bar. So what do we got here? It's importing React, of course. I'm gonna do that in every single one. Making a page file class that is an extended from React component class. So it's just inherited all the stuff. This is a child and inherits all the stuff from React component. Okay, so it's just gonna render and return a div. Looks like an H1, a P, and an image. Okay. Then a navbar. So you have an array. Then you have a nav links, which is pages map. It's gonna, so you have .map, which then is a callback function. Okay. And then nav links. Oh, that is really cool. I never thought about using a map, because on my site, where's my site? It's up here. On my site, all this stuff. So if you go into the dev, let's go to sources. Here's the sources. Here's all of my stuff. So I have here all this, all my links. It's right here in the nav bar. I have it written out, but in here, that is cool. It does a for loop using .map into making the links. That is cool. Okay. In this lesson, you're going to make a page profile render a navbar. How do you do that? To start, simply make profile pages render method return a navbar instance. So on place navbar on page on line 9. Capital N. Whoops. Hit the button to go back on my mouse. So run that. Acquire a file. When you use React.js, every JavaScript file in your application is invisible to every other JavaScript file by default. Are you gonna main Ash? Awesome. Ash is a good character. I haven't even opened up Apex in a while. So profile page and navbar can't see each other. This is a problem, of course. You're gonna have to import it. On line 9, you just add an instance of navbar component class, but since you're in pave, it doesn't know. Okay. If you want to use the variable that's declared in a different file, such as navbar, you're gonna have to import it, of course. So import. I'm ahead of myself. You can use import statement. We've used import before, but not like this. Notice the difference between the above line of code and this familiar one. So yeah, this is from a library, so you don't have to put it in parentheses or squiggle marks. The first important difference is the curly braces around navbar. We'll get to those soon. That's because it's running off a node. The second important difference involves the components of the string at the end of the statement. Dot, I already know because if you look up the file structure, here is navbar right here, so you can just call it from the same file hierarchy. If you use the import statement and the string of the end begins with another dot slash, then import will treat the string of the file path. Import will follow that file path and import the file that it finds. If your file path doesn't have a file extension, then .js is assumed. Oh, okay, that's cool. So the above example could be shortened, so you can just knock off the .js. One final important note, none of this behavior is specific to React. Module system of independent important files are very popular to organize code. It comes from ES6, more on that. So I learned how to import modules and files in a different you get 3 packs for Watson for her and a locker. Oh, nice. Which was in think it was in, not web apps, it was in one of these where you learn to import files. And so you don't have spaghetti code in one. You can put stuff and import it. It makes it cleaner code. The navbar on line 9 isn't going to work until you import navbar. On line 3, so import. See, I already got ahead of myself. So you want navbar. Gosh dang it. There we go. From so nav bar. And it would be nice to be able to type today. For some reason I can't. So we can run that. And we got the green chart check. So now we can use it. All right. You've learned how to use import to grab a variable from the other file than the file that is currently executing. When you import a variable from a file that is not the current file, then the export statement isn't quite enough. You also need to use an export statement in the other file. Exporting the variable that you hope to grab. Export comes from ES6's module system, just like import does. Export and import are meant to be used together. You rarely see one without the other. Here are a few different ways to use export. So export's pretty cool. There's different ways. This course you'll be using a style called name exports. Here's how name exports worked. In one file, place the keyword export immediately before something that you want to export. That something can be top level var, let, const, function, or class. You can export multiple things from the same file. So you put export in front of the const. In a different file, import the name of the var from the first file. The style of importing and exporting is named exports. You use name exports. You always need to wrap your imported names in curly braces, such as this. We're going to open up this. Yeah, so you can see it here. And then there's something else too. I think you have to do it in the HTML as well. Yeah. Because if you don't put the import in the HTML header, the meta file, it won't import it. So navbar.js, we want to export here. So this will export this whole entire class or subclass of React component, of course. Now when you use import to grab. Okay, awesome to the max. Okay, at the bottom of profile.js, use React.rem. So React DOM render to render instance of profile page. So we're gonna use React DOM and we're gonna render this profile page. So the first option is gonna be profile page. No, it's not. I did it wrong. It's gonna be profile page, then space. This is going to be document. This is always pretty much the same. Document dot get element by ID, and we're going to use app as the document or the ID. So if we look in here, so here is main in the HTML and it has an ID of app. So we're going to be pretty much dropping that component into the main right here. So run that. What did I mess up on? Make sure a new line at the bottom of the file. I did. Oh, React. But I recat. Oops. I swear my spelling sometimes is horrible. What did I mess up on? Yeah, profile page, document, get element by ID app. Ah. What did we mess up on? I did. I spelled something all right here. Okay, now what did we spell wrong? Element by ID app profile page. Just make sure we got everything spelled right. Because somewhere I have a type. React. Oh, whoops. That's what we messed. Dumb. Okay, there we go. That's cool. It made it made a nav bar and all this like simple. You don't have to type it out in HTML. That is so awesome. Oh, we get to learn about this properties. Also, Trader Joe's cold brew coffee is amazing. Okay. Sorry, I got ice on that one. Previously, you learned one way that components can interact. A component can render another component. In this lesson, you will learn another way that components can interact. A component can pass information to another component. Information that gets passed from one component to another is known as props. Click next to enter props land. In this video, you can see the post component passing a prop to the content component. The prop contains a string, which is used to display an image. Okay, let's watch this video. So the post and then gets post thrown into the content. Okay. Access a component's props. Every component has something called props. A component's props is an object. It holds information about that component. To see a component's props object, you use the expression this.props. Here's an example of this.props being used inside a render method. So render props object. Props object's coming up. Console log this.props. Console log, that was my props object. Return hello world. Okay. Most of the information in this props is pretty useless, but some of it is extremely important, as you'll see. Look at props displayer.js. On line 6, you can see the variable name string props. So JSON.stringify this props. This props is equal to a stringified version of this props. On line 11, inject string props in between H2 tags. So we're using JSX. So string props. Okay. Make sure, yeah, got it right because we get the green check mark. But I always check the hint. I always try to do it like if I'm completely clueless. I always I'll click on the hint. But I always 90% of the time try to do it before clicking on the hint. Then look at the hint if I'm having issues, and then if I have more problems, I'll check the solution and then work it from there. Okay. On line 18, call react dom.render. Okay. For react dom.render's first argument, pass in the instant props displayer. So props displayer. Forgot. Okay. So I didn't even look what props displayer does. So check out my props object. Oh yeah, and then it's gonna pull out the JSON. It's gonna stringify it with this dot props. Okay. Okay. For React DOM.render second argument, pass in document dot get element by ID. I'm trying to type better. Click run to see props display or props object, which is nothing. Kind of a letdown, huh? Yes. Despite what you see in the browser, props displayer's propped object isn't really empty. It has some properties that JSON that stringify doesn't detect. But even if you could see those properties, the props object still wouldn't have much of a value to show you right now, but it's there. Okay. Is it there? Is it really there? Pull up the console. Console. Okay. Pass props to a component. You can pass information to a React component. How? By giving that component an attribute. So my component foo bar. Okay. So let's say you want to pass a component the message, this is some top secret info. Here's how you can do it. Example message, this is some top secret info. As you can see, to pass information to a component, you need a name for the information that you want to pass. So it's like a variable. In the above example, we use the name message. Oh, it's like an attribute in HTML. Okay. It's not like a variable, it's like an attribute in HTML. If you want to pass information that isn't a string, then wrap the information in curly braces. Here's how you would pass an array. Okay. Greetings, my info. So you can pass the array. So a string is okay. Anything else you have to wrap in curly braces. In the next example, we'll pass several pieces of information to greeting. The values that aren't strings are wrapped in curly braces. Okay. Just kind of. Let me look at some stuff on my phone really quick. And I missed a call. Oops. I missed a call. Let me get this call really quick. Let's take a quick little. Let's take a quick little break for a second. Let me make this call. I will be right back. All right, so apparently, I'm waiting for job perspectives to call, and this like, it's weird. It didn't ring for some reason. Yeah. So phone's been disconnected, so I don't know. Okay. Play some more feel good calming music. I love listening to lo-fi when I code. It's just so comforting. Okay, let's get back to this. Inside of the react.dom render, call pass the string hello to just so we want message. Oh, my prop. Wonder if it matters if it's single or double quotes. I guess we'll find out. I like to put stuff in, if it's a attribute, honestly, I like to do double quotes. But if it's like anything in, HTML properties, for some reason I like to use double quotes. But if it's in JavaScript, I actually like to use the backtick to do a string interpolation, whatever it is. So that right there, so you can just pass whatever. You don't have to worry about if you have a single quote in there. Okay. So now we got my prop hello. Oh, okay. So prop displayer. Pretty much all you've done is just pass in a string. You just pass information to a component's props object. Oh, okay. I'm kind of getting where they're going with this. You will often want a component to display the information that you pass. Here's how to make a component display passing information. Find the component class that is going to receive the information. Include this.props.name of information in that component's class render method return statement. Okay, there's a lot going on there. Let's walk through an example. Okay, on line 11, you can see a piece of information being passed to greeting. The information's name is first name. Okay. How could you make first name show up on the screen? So, okay. By including this.props.firstName somewhere in the greetings class renders method return statement. There's a lot going on in there. So on line 6, in between the returned h1 tags, add the following expression. So, hi, there, right? Comma, curly brace, this dot props dot first. Okay, curly brace, and we want an exclamation point, and then run it. Okay. In the React DOM dot render, call and change first name's value to a different string. Click run once the browser refreshes. So we want continue terror. Yo, what's up, Mr. Wrong? Back at work on break. Ooh, oh, so you're back at work now? You got cleared to go back to work? Yeah, now we got it. So I just like this. Like, why don't you just? Some of the stuff they put on Code Academy, like, it's very basic, and you have to go out and look for more. You have to, which is fine, but they want a lot more stuff in later lessons of stuff that you're learning. And it's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And so you have to go off and learn stuff on your own, which is good. It's good in a sense. All right. Pass props from component to component. You have learned how to pass a prop to a component. Now my actual job I'm at a temp job. Oh, what's the temp job doing? What are you doing there? I need more coffee. Okay. Stupid ice. I put ice into my cup this morning. Instead of big old chunks, I got a lot of like small little. I don't like the small little chunks of ice. I like big chunks of ice. Because I hate it when like I go to take a drink and I get a mouthful of ice. I know a lot of people like the little ice things, but just not for me. Okay, we'll get done with this one, and then we're going to take a little break. I notice I have to take breaks when coding because my mind gets too like enveloped. So we'll see what's going on with this program, or maybe watch something on YouTube. Okay, you have learned how to pass a prop to a component. Also learn how to access and display a passed in prop. Okay. The most common use of props is to pass information to a component from a different component. You haven't done that yet, but it's a very similar to what you've seen already. In this exercise, you'll pass a prop from one component to another. A curmudgeonly clarification about grammar. You may have noticed some loose usage of the word prop and props. Fortunately, this is pretty inevitable. Props is the name of the object that stores passed in information. This .props refers to that storage object. At the same time, each piece of passed in information is called a prop. This means that props could refer to two pieces of passed information, or it can refer to the object that stores those. There's a lot going on in that sentence. There's a lot of prop and prop. Okay, your mission is to pass a prop to a greeting component instance from an app component instance. If app is going to pass a prop to greeting, then it follows that app is going to render greeting. There's a lot going on. Since greeting is going to be rendered by another component, that means that greeting needs to use an export statement. Okay. In greeting.js, delete the information from line 2. Okay. At the bottom of greeting.js, remove the entire call of. Okay. On line 3, add the word export to the beginning of the line. There, it's right here. Oops. Let's go like that. So we're going to export this component. Yay! We did it. Okay, app.js can't access a prop to greeting until app.js imports the variable greeting. Until then, the characters greeting in app.js might as well be nonsense. Select Select app.js. Create a new line underneath the import. Okay. React DOM. In your new line, import greeting component from greeting. Remember to wrap greeting in curly braces. So import greeting from greeting. And since it's a JS, we don't have to put the JS on there. Let's run that. Want spaces around the curly braces, I think. Okay. Oh, oops. I forgot to capitalize greeting. Okay. So in app.js, add a greeting instant to app's render method immediately underneath the H1. So add a greeting instance to app's render method immediately underneath H1. So we want greeting. Give greeting an attribute. Oh, let's just go do this. Oh wait, we don't forget about it. Give greeting an attribute. Okay. The name of name. So name equals let's just do my name. And you click run app. So, oh nice. So it pretty much just, we had this. So it just returned this, right? So the H1 gets put right into right here. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, that's making more sense now. Of what we're supposed, what's going to be happening. So pretty much we declare this, right? And it return this. This is what it's going to return. And then we throw it into this, into the main app of this right here. So this attribute is going to be, okay. Okay, it's slowly making sense. Okay, let's take a small little break. I do this from time to time when I'm coding. When I'm learning to code, because there's so much stuff going on that you just, yeah. So pull up Daily Dose of Internet. Let's watch a Daily Dose of Internet, a couple of them. This guy's a rock star. Let's do this one.
Hello everyone, this is your Daily Dose of Internet.
I busted the wall.
The old XP. So crazy.
This guy has the ability to swallow pills and then bring them back.
When they walk away, I just bring it up, or if they make me swallow water, no big deal. And then I just...
Hey, get out of the road! Come on! Hey, frickin'... What the?
I found a video of an extremely talented archer.
I've seen this guy before. He is a awesome shot.
Do you like your new tie?
Yes, I do. Looks like a villain.
You look very handsome.
These eagles were building a nest and had a disagreement on where to put this stick.
No, it goes right here. No, it goes right here.
This video got over 100 million views on TikTok. Someone
Nice.
sent me a video of a very bouncy cat.
Oh
Oh.
my...
Lucas, what the hell?
One came from up there.
Why would they do that?
I don't...
You're an idiot.
This guy found out that if he leaves his hand out like that, his dog will start doing this.
The wiggle butt. The wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
That is the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again very,
Have you
very
seen
soon.
white ghosts? Don't hunt aliens. No, I haven't. Is there any music or anything like that? Is it streaming friendly? No copyrighted music. Which one did we just watch? Let's just watch the newest one.
Hello everyone, this is your Daily Dose of Internet. These students wanted to see what would happen if they called their teachers by their first names.
Hi, Matt.
Hi.
Hello,
Hi.
Fern.
Hi, Lacey.
Patterson. Miss Patterson.
What's up, Brandon?
How dare you?
Hi, Larissa.
What?
See you later.
Okay, ruler on the table. You drop something on it, it's gonna fall.
Yeah, of course.
But if you put an ordinary piece of paper onto the ruler like that, and then you drop something on it.
This person
That's
is
cool.
disabled and needs a
Oh,
bike
I've
like
seen this on
to
TikTok.
enjoy the outdoors, and for some reason this random guy was upset about it.
He's all pissed off.
E-bikes on this thing.
This is a handicap piece of equipment.
And
And what?
show me the rules saying that you're allowed to do this.
You're serious? Who are
Yeah.
you?
You're
You-
breaking the rules at the park. You
It's
know
a
the rules.
handicap piece of equipment. I can't walk.
Zach, you know the rules.
Class
The rules are
act.
they
I
allow
mean,
you
you're-
to be there, bro.
God,
So
dude.
he didn't show up, but the lady's like, she realizes like, oh shit, my husband's being a dick, and is like, goes, okay, oh, by Steven, I know who you're talking about. So, by ghosts don't hunt agents. Oh, I love this guy. Emotional damage. Okay, we'll watch this. Actually, let's finish up this.
Depress brake pedal to start? Okay. You are a failure. Nobody loves you. Die.
Oh, he's depressed now. Oh,
This
poor
family's
dog.
house was on fire, and they had basically no sense of urgency, and the police officer was getting frustrated.
You need to get out! I'm gonna break the window. Watch out! You gotta get out! I can't let you get hurt. Where's the dog? Where is it? What? We gotta get you out of here, buddy.
Yeah, there's some Mountain Dew.
Because the house is on fire, man.
One of my subscribers recorded this video of a dolphin teasing a seagull with a fish.
A little ice bath.
That is the end of this video.
That's
I really
cool.
hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Later.
Okay, let's watch this.
Hello? What the hell? Oh, what the hell? Electrician come last week. The hell I pay you for? Whew. Why it suddenly get colder? What the hell?
You can see the string.
What the heck? Steven! This one of your failures.
This is one of your failures.
Oh, I smell bitch in here. Yep, smell like bitch. The hell you doing? What the? What the hell? That's my new sheet. I use the fabric softener. You don't know
Emotional
why sheet get out
damage.
beyond the floor? Is that you? You stupid! You cost me electricity. You don't know this costs 5 cents a day. Why the hell is so cold? Who are you, my ex-girlfriend? You don't know the heating costs money. Who the hell you think I am? Jackie channel. I make videos on YouTube.
I'm sorry. He's like, I just roasted myself right there. Holy crap. Oh, I gotta see that again. That was funny.
What the hell you do? You scare the people. Only thing scary about you is your unemployment. Where the hell were you Halloween? I had to buy the stupid decoration. Spider web skeleton. Stupid. One day of the year, you don't do nothing. You stand there for one day on Halloween. Couldn't do your job. You such a failure. You made my son look like Elon Musk. That was a joke. You want
That was a
to
joke.
stay in my house now? Okay. $700 a month rent. You have to do the laundry. You don't pay the rent, you're gonna be wearing garbage bag next week. I didn't want to say, I don't mean to be rude, but when the last time you showered? When you came in, the room smelled like ass in a fish market. Are you a cat? This is Beijing Kong. This yes, this no, okay. Are you a cat?
This yes, this no.
Oh, you're a cat? What happened? You run out of lives? What's your name? Beijing Kong. Your name is Beijing Kong? Okay, sorry, I didn't know you were cat. I thought you were just stupid. Here, you can stay here with me. There you go. We make friends.
I love this one. This is the one with emotional damage. Oh, not that one.
Hello? What the hell?
Of course, it's got this one right here. Watch this, and then we get back to learning to code. What the hell is this?
What the hell? Stepped on branch.
Oh, that's the new level. They just released it. So many people in Asia complained it was too easy, so they made this.
Asian.
A leaf. Was it poisonous?
Just
I think
from
you press
regular
L2.
Block too hard.
I have to block the sun. Finally, some action. Steven, when you get so fat. Emotional damage. You want some therapy?
You probably could just hold down the block button.
When you get so fat, you still trying to be an actor.
Unemployed. The stuff he comes up with is just gold.
Hey.
Breathe too much. Cat's like, what the hell?
I'm done. Steven, get the cheat codes.
What? You don't want to beat it properly?
I will send you to Jesus.
Okay, here's one. L2 circle circle triangle.
Okay, L triangle, square square circle.
Whoa, is that a cheat code? Looks like you, my friend, are on the wrong difficulty level. See, we made this game mode for the 5-year-olds in Asia who kept beating our f***ing game in 5 minutes! How are they so good? We kept raising the difficulty, but it's just not enough for that! I can't even play that well and I made the f***ing game! So let's take you back to where you should be. Easy mode.
Easy mode. Okay. I love him. I haven't been subscribed to him Emotional damage. All right. Let's get back to some code stuff. Okay. Oh. All right. Awesome. You passed a prop from a component to a different component. Access that prop from the receiver component and rendered it. Yes, we did. You can do more with props. Back to work. You're still going later. All right. Yeah. If you, have fun at work. Are you working from home or you have to actually go, like drive to work? Okay. In the code editor, look at the welcome component class. Okay. If this prop's name is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, then we are going to return H2. Hello, sir. It's really great to meet you. Else, welcome to my website, baby. Yeah. Okay. You can tell from this prop's name. Okay. On line 5, that welcome expects to receive a piece of information called name, which it doesn't have a name in this one. However, welcome never renders this piece of information. Instead, it uses the information to make a decision. Welcome instance will render the text welcome to my website, baby, unless the user is Mozart, in which case it will render the more respectful hello, sir. It is truly great to meet you here on the web. The past and name is not displayed in either case. The name is used to decide what will be displayed. Here's a common technique. This is a common technique. Okay. Select home.js and look at the home component class. Welcome name Ludwig von Beethoven. What will welcome screen? It will welcome to my website, baby, of course. But it won't render anything right now. Okay. Look in greetings render function. You will see that greeting now expects 2 props, name and signed in. So signed in and name. Notice that this .props.signedIn is not located inside of the return statement. This means that greeting will never display the value of signed in, but greeting will use the value to decide whether to display a friendly greeting or go away. Look at greeting until you feel you understand how it works, and then open app.js inside of app's render function on line 12. Okay, so if this props signed in is equal to false, go away. Else, hi there, props.name. So signed in. Where is signed in? Okay, so all right, so let's go into app. Instead of app's render function on line 12. So 12 pass greeting a second prop of signed in false. So signed in a false. Oops. We want curly brackets. Okay. There we go. Go away. So how rude. I mean, honestly, in app.js, change the value of signed in and make greeting display a friendly greeting again. That's easy. We're just going to swap that to true. Oh. So where does this come in? Where does welcome.js come in play on this? this has nothing to do with it. Oh, it's just a show. So Home.js. Okay, so hold on. Let's back up. So Home.js is going to import welcome. Okay. Okay. Kind of. Put an event handler on a component class. You can and will often pass a function as props. It is especially common to pass event handler functions. Okay. So like on click, on hover, on down, on up, blah, blah, blah. In the next lesson, you will pass an event handler function as a prop. However, you have to define an event handler before you can pass one anywhere. In this lesson, you'll define an event handler function. How do you define an event handler in React? You define an event handler as a method on a component class, just like the render method. Take a look at the code editor on lines 4 through 8. Okay, so 4 through 8. An event handler method is defined. So handle event alert. I am an event handler. Okay. Take a look in the code editor on lines 4. Line 12. Okay. So pretty much it's going to render an H1, and if you click on the H1, it's going to alert. What's up, Cordo? How's it going, man? On click, it's going to send an alert to the website saying blah, blah, blah. Okay. Select Talker.js. Here we have a nice function named talk. Okay. So it's talk. It's an empty string. It's got a for loop. It's going to go from 0 to 10,000 in increments of 1. Speech plus equal blah. So it's going to keep just blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. And then it's going to talk alert. Or 10,000 blobs to your screen. You will eventually use talk as an event handler. Okay. There's a problem. Talk is defined. Learning React in web development right now. So this is a front-end framework for building websites called React, and it's done through JavaScript. So this is basic right here. So like you have your this is an index file. This is your HTML file, just very basic, but there's nothing in here. So what you do in React is you actually use JavaScript to put stuff on the screen. It renders it through a virtual document and then compares that virtual document to what's on screen. So when you click something on a website, like let's pull up here. This is built using React. It's not. Is this built using React? Yeah, this is built using React. So like here, like how it glows, that can be done with JavaScript, or like it makes it to where it doesn't render the whole page over and over again. It only renders that one section. And with React, it makes it a lot easier to build that through JavaScript and HTML. So like here's my site. This is done through JavaScript and HTML and CSS, but through React, this is running locally. This is this right here. So like if you pull up the website, it says Hello Code Academy. And if you open this up side by side, okay, want this one right here. So you want like hello, and it's gonna update. Actually, I think we need to open it back up. 127, right? Where are we on? So here. Copy that. So like if you can change it, and once it updates, it'll update that. Yeah, kind of similar how to some load as you scroll down. It's mostly for like you see popular React web sites. Like Facebook, Netflix, are all pretty big on React. Trying to find a good one. Like Uber, the New York Times. We can go like to the New York Times really quick. So like you see how like that right there. Or if you open something, it doesn't have to render, because if you have a big website that's got a lot going on like this, if you open up a certain thing, it doesn't render the whole entire page and take a long time. It only renders one certain aspect of it, so that way it uses less bandwidth and it's more it's a lot faster. Like I'm trying to find a good I mean mostly it'd be like kind of like trying to find a good like that right there would be, so that way you see it just pops that up. It doesn't have to render everything else because it's all static, and this is just the reactive part. So that's why it's kind of like React, you know, it's just reactive like that. Like that's all done through React. So like if we open up the developer tools and then we come down here to components, this is everything that is being rendered with React through here. And you can look at it. So like that right there. Here is that div of this whole entire right here. Just, yeah. So it's a very efficient way to make websites. Right. There it is. And it can get very complicated. Like it's very JavaScript and HTML dependent. So you can put an event handler in a component class. Okay. Everything's still up in the air right now. I've been calling them and they haven't been calling me back, so I got a couple other things in the fire and I'm just waiting to hear back. You never let me know about the because I texted you about the price for the things you wanted. You never let me know about what you think about that. Okay, select Talker.js. Here we have a nice function named talk. Okay, we already went through that. There's a problem. Talk is defined outside of the Talker component class. That's not how we do things in React land. Rewrite talk so it is a method defined in the definition of Talker. Look at example.js. So we want to put it above the render. Okay. So we want talk, not in capital. So we want a function right there, or a method. Okay. Let speech equal an empty string. Semicolon. For let I equal 0, I is less than 10,000 I plus plus speech plus equals blah. Okay. And then we want to, out of the alert, speech. So let's just comment that out because we're not going to need that. Oh, okay. So let's delete that. Run. Seems a little high. So what do you think? I mean, okay, pass an event handler as a prop. Good, you defined a new method on a talker component class. Now you're ready to pass that function to another component. You can pass a method in the exact same way that you pass any other information. Behold the mighty JavaScript. Select talker. You want to pass talk from here to button. Okay. An attribute, let's start there. Inside of talker render method, give talk button the following attribute. So oh, okay. So these are just foo equals bar. Your goal is to pass talk from talker to button. So it's going to be this dot talk, I believe. What prop name should you choose? It doesn't really matter. Prop attributes will work the same just about any name as long as the following follows. Since you're going to pass a function talk, you might as well use talk as your name. Change the attribute from foo to talk. Run that. What value should prop be? Prop is going to be this.talk. You want to pass a method named talk inside there. I think it should be this.talk. So it's going to be this.talk. Yeah, we got it. Receive an event handler as a prop. Great, you just passed a function from talker to button. In code editor, select button.js. Notice that button renders a button element. Your clicks on the button element. You pass in talk function to get called. This means you need to attach talk to the button as an event handler. How do you do that? The same way that you attach any event handler to a JSX element, you give that JSX element a special attribute. The attribute's name should be something like onClick or onHover. The attribute's value should be an event handler that you want to attach in button.js and an onClick attribute to the render method button. So on click equal so it's going to be this dot prop dot talk. Okay. Oh, whoops. It's gonna be talk. What am I missing here? I did that. Unclick. Curly braces. This. Dot. Props. Dot. Talk. I thought I did that. I might have mistyped it. Okay, handle event on event and this props on event. Let's talk about naming things. When you pass an event handler as a prop, as you just did, there are two names that you have to choose. Both naming choices occur in the parent component class. That is, in the component class that defines the event handler and passes it. The first name that you have to choose is the name of the event handler itself. Look in Talker.js lines through 6 through 12. Okay. This is our event handler. We chose to name it talk. The second name that you have to choose is the name of the prop that you will use to pass the event handler. This is the same thing as your attribute name. For prop name, we chose talk as shown on line 15. These two names can be whatever you want. However, there is a naming convention that they often follow. You don't have to follow this convention, but you should understand when you see it. Here's how the naming convention works. First, think about what type of event you're listening for. In this example, the event type was click. If you're listening for a click event, you should name your handler handle click. If you are that makes sense. Listening for key press event, you should have handle key press. Your prop name should be the word on plus your event type. If you're listening for a click event, you should be on click. If you're listening for a key press event, prop name should be on key press. Line 6, so handle click. So in talk-to-render method, change the prop name from talk to on click. Change the props value to reflect the fact that the event handler is now named handle click, not talk. Okay. So we did that and talk to on click. Oh, handle click. Get so quickly sometimes with my shift that I don't get the capital C. Select button JS. So now this is going to be handle click. Oh, okay. So yeah, that makes sense. One major source of confusion is the fact that names like onClick have special meaning, but only if they're using HTML like elements. Look at button.js, where you give a button an attribute of onClick. Okay. then the name onClick has special meaning. As you've learned, this special onClick attribute creates an event listener listening for clicks on the button. Now look at Talker.js. Here when you give button onClick, then the name onClick doesn't do anything special. The name onClick does not create an event listener when you use button. It's just an arbitrary attribute name. The reason for that this is not HTML like JSX element. It is a component instance. Names like onClick only create event listeners if they're used on HTML like JSX elements. Otherwise, they're just ordinary prop names. Okay. This props children. Okay. See how we're doing down here really quick. Where's my check out there? I really want to buy this one. I need some more faction. There's one that I really wanted. All these will actually be good. So we just gotta wait for get more experience. Buy the rest of these. I think we can max out these at least. See how these scripts are doing. Not bad. Okay. Back into React. Okay, so every component's properties object has a property named children. This props.children will return everything in between a component's opening and closing JSX tags. So far, all the components that you've seen have been self-closing tags, such as my component class. They don't have to be. You could write my component class, and it would still work. This props.children will return everything in between my component class and the closing my component class. Look at big button JS. In example 1, big button, this children will be equal to the text I am child of big button. Example 2, big button this props would equal to little button component. Example 3 equals undefined since it doesn't have the closing tag. If a component has more than one child between its JSX tags, then this children will return those children in an array. However, if a component only has one child, this props will return the single child not wrapped in an array. Okay. Select app.js. Notice that app renders 2 lists. Instances that each list instance has at least one li children. Okay. Now open list.js and take a look at the list component class. Okay. Think about the fact that each list instance is going to be rendered with 2 JSX tags. And that there will be at least one li children in between those tags. Click run. Kind of lost in this one, I won't lie. You can see two list titles in the browser, but no list items. How can you make the list items appear in list.js in the render function between ul tags add? So this dot props dot children. Click run. Bonus. Each list instance is passed as a single title, living musician and living cat musician respectively. Somehow each list counts as list items and automatically adds an S to the end of the title, and if the count is greater than more than one. You could add a second piano cat, and the second list title would automatically pluralize. See if you can figure out how the instance of list component class are automatically pluralizing their titles. It's got to be the children. Maybe, I don't know. It's got to be the children property. Let's look it up. This props children. I don't want plural site. It's got to be in the children. This dot props children, the end children. Has to be something to do with that. I wish it would kind of, I don't know. Look at the button component class. Okay. Notice on line 8, button expects to receive a prop named text. The received text will be displayed inside the button element. What if nobody passes any text to button? If nobody passes text to button, the button's display will be blank. It would be better if button could display a default message instead. You can make this happen by giving your component class a property named default props. Okay. So default props, the default props property should be equal to an object. Okay. Inside of this object, write properties for any default props you'd like to set. Okay. It will display yo. Then, okay. Click run. What a sad textless button. Okay. On line 15, give the button class the default props property. Make this property equal to an object. So button dot default props. It's going to equal to empty object for right now. So it's going to be text I am a button. Let's run, and that should now be on button. In the React DOM render, call the button with the following attributes of text. Text. So you're assigning the attribute here or the property, and that gets overwritten right here. Then if you don't have any text in there, well, this is a button, or I am a button. So text is equal to we'll say oh. Here we go. Render some stuff in a button. What time is it? Oh, geez. It's been 2 hours. Oh, all right. Let's see. I think we're gonna be done for the day. I need to run over to my sister's. See what we have in the next lesson. Got 7. Yeah, I think we're gonna be done for the day. So tomorrow, I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how tomorrow runs. I might stream tomorrow. It's kind of nice talking about code and stuff like that out loud. Just when I'm looking at stuff on my own, I always just kind of zone out and I don't read it out. So having a stream going is kind of nice. So yeah, I think I'm actually liking doing it and maybe we can talk more about like cryptocurrency and stuff. You know, how everything's going with crypto, cool things you can do with crypto and blockchain, NFTs, you know, like Decentraland. Decentraland is really cool too. You don't know what Decentraland is. It's pretty cool. It's a game. It's not really a game, but it's an app that runs on top of the Ethereum blockchain. And you can display NFTs. Actually, I'm going to stop. Come on. Let's stop that. Let's just check out Decentraland really quick while we're here. You connect your MetaMask wallet and you sign in with it to access the app. But this is essentially so yeah, like these are all NFTs. Like the very first NFT sold. Elon holding Doge. So it's pretty much a humongous land where people have bought land. Like all this is like purchasable land. And it's like an NFT itself of stuff people have bought and then they've done stuff. So you can go and check out all sorts of cool stuff. Like right around here is where JP Morgan actually has set their very first like a lounge for their bank. Yeah, it's right here. So there's Onyx by JP Morgan. You can like, this is their stuff with blockchain that they've done. Why am I in this? Anyways, yeah, it's some cool stuff. Like you can go over here to Crypto Alley. There's CoinGecko's thing right there. There's Kraken wallet. I don't even see what's down here. Yeah, just fun stuff, like just all just it's just mostly just for displaying. Like yesterday they were having this like meeting and like talking about what's it called, like the space that people wanted to build as like a kind of like a meeting intermediary between everything, to have everything kind of connected between games and stuff. Taking a while for it to load the scenes. So yeah, just fun stuff. But anyways, so tomorrow I'll let you know if I'm streaming. If I'm learning, I'm going to be streaming, I guess. That's just the way it's going to be for right now. So thank you everybody for hanging out, and I'll see you tomorrow, maybe Sunday, for sure Monday if I have nothing else going on. So thank you guys, and I'll see you soon.